Hey, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Sean, aka Sean Knight 3000. What's going on with y'all out there tonight? Or today, or this afternoon, or this evening, or whenever you're watching this video. Anyway, it is Saturday, 11:06 p.m. I just started my shift, doing my very first round of the night. So I'm still bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and fresh-faced and full of energy. A little hungry, but other than that, pretty good so far. Anyway, I sold my car. Yep, the Ford Taurus is now in my rearview mirror, and I'm literally in hers. Yes, indeed. I sold her on Tuesday morning. Sold her to a coworker. It was time, you know, because whenever you get to a point where a car is costing you more than it's worth, it's time to get rid of it. It's time to move on, get you something better. I mean, she was fully paid for, don't get me wrong. And part of the reason why I think I held on to her for as long as I did is I love the fact that I didn't have a monthly payment on her. You know, just cover the maintenance, fuel, oil changes every 3 months, pay for her insurance, jump in her and drive. No monthly payments, so all the money that I was saving on monthly payments, I could shove in the bank, you know? But the last year, I realized for the first time last week that I was spending more to maintain her than the car was actually worth. And by that I mean, even if I took the car to a dealership and used her as a trade-in, she was a 2001 Ford Taurus SES. I see literally hundreds of those on the road right now. Being that she's also 14 years old, what exactly am I going to get in trade value for her? What, 300, 200, 300, 400 maybe? On a good day, I might get 400. Because no dealer is going to give me more than that for a 2001 Ford Taurus. They're just not. And when you realize that's the value of the car if you traded it in, I'd have better luck selling the motherfucker on eBay or Craigslist. Not much more, but I can make, you know, maybe $400 or $500 more, maybe even a little bit more than that, because the body was in pristine condition. No dents, no dings. She only had a little bit of rust in her driver's side wheel well, rear wheel well. That was probably from last year when we had such a bad winter and they were rock salt in the streets, left, right, and center. Some of that rock salt probably ended up causing her rust right there. Other than that, she had no rust. There were no dents, no dings, paint wasn't peeling, windows and doors all open, windows went up and down, the motors were fine. And given the fact that pretty much everything except the engine and the transmission were new, I could have gotten a little bit more if I would have sold her on eBay or, you know, put her on Craigslist. But my coworker wanted her. He figured, well, whatever's wrong with her is probably something minor, something your mechanic overlooked, something that maybe you overlooked, something that my guy can fix for little or nothing, and then I can drive the car for the next 2 or 3 years. And my hand to God, I did everything in my power to try to talk him out of buying it, because I was just going to sell it for scrap. I was going to call one of these places that comes and, you know, give you some cash on the spot. They tow it, do whatever the fuck they're going to do. They strip it down and sell it for parts. But like I say, When she stopped and considered, the battery was brand new. The battery was exactly 2 days old. The alternator was 3 days old. The starter was less than a year old. Brand new spark plug wires, ignition coil. All that shit was brand new. All of it less than a month old. They could have stripped the car and got a hell of a lot more than what they probably would have, no doubt, what they would have paid me for it. But for me, I was just exhausted, you know? The car was fantastic when it was running, beautiful to look at. I loved it. I would look outside my front door, and she looked like she was just ready to run, you know? For all those that know the 2001 Ford Taurus or have one, the profile is a bad car, you know? It looks fast even when it's standing still, you know? I love that. And when you're in it, you put your foot on the floor and you hear that roar, and that acceleration, and you're blowing past, you know, 2014, 2015s, like they're standing still, and you're like, oh shit, you know? Like I said, when she's running, she's beautiful. The problem is, she spent more time not running lately than she spent running. I mean, I admit part of that is my fault, because the last time she stopped running, I wanted to do the work myself. I could have called my mechanic. He usually charges anywhere between $200 and $300, depending on what he's got to do. I buy the parts, he does the work. I pay him in cash. He probably would have fixed it in a day if it would have taken that long. But I wanted to do the work myself. I wanted to get in there, get my own hands dirty, do the work myself, save a little bit of money, and more importantly, learn. Because I really wasn't planning to sell the car anytime soon. I was going to drive it literally till the wheels fell off. And I got it running, I fixed it, I was proud of myself. I drove it, it ran like a champion, and then it did what it always does. It got as far away from the house as it could possibly get, and then it stopped running. It had a history of doing that. It had done that a lot. It would never, ever stop running near the house. It would never stop running within a block or 2 or 3 of the house. Never. It would always stop somewhere hella far from the house. I'd be at work, or God help me, I'd be way up on the far north side, and it would stop. And tow trucks and tow truck companies are not cheap. They want to charge you an arm, a leg, and 3 toes to tow your shit anywhere. Let alone, you got to tow my shit literally 30 miles. Literally 30 miles from the north side back to my house in the south suburbs. That's a hell of a lot of money to be spending on a 14-year-old car. That's not even counting what I had to pay, once again, my mechanic. Then I got to go to AutoZone or Advanced or O'Reilly's and then get auto parts, get the parts to put on the car for my mechanic. It was just getting to a point where it was exceeding what the car was worth. And for me, it was just frustrating, because I'd have the car running for a week, maybe 2 months, 2 months, 3 months, and then the shit would just croak on me somewhere. And like I said, it was never right at the house. It was always someplace where I had to spend a whole lot of money on the tow truck. So you had to factor that into the expense of getting it fixed. And it was just getting to a point where it wasn't worth it anymore. And I hated to see her go. I mean, I really hated to see her go. But better somebody else's headache than my headache, you know? And right now, I wasn't prepared to go and get a brand new car. I wasn't thinking that far ahead. I really wasn't. By the way, I am now looking at a Prius from Toyota, all black. Tiny little wheels, they look like they came off a Kia Rio or some shit like that, but I like the design. Kind of a little bubble. 4 doors, which I've always loved in a car because I do have family. And trust me, when you got a 2-door car and somebody wants to get out of the back seat or get into the back seat, and you got to get out yourself, or you got to do that where you pretty much impale yourself on the steering wheel move, I've never been a fan of that. Open the back door, get your ass in, get your ass out, you know? And if you got to put in like a car seat, jeez. Don't have a 2-door car and trying to fit a fucking car seat into the back. It's hard enough when you have 4 doors to get a car seat into the back seat. You got a 2-door? Lord, don't let it be cold. Or worse, don't let your kid be impatient. Oh my sweet heaven. Your kid is irritable, crying, kicking, screaming, squirming around in the seat. You're trying to get the seat in, you're trying to keep them in the seat because you don't want them running into traffic or something. You have to watch them while you're putting that seat in. Especially if it's just you by yourself. Your lady's nowhere around, or you're going to pick up your lady or something. Nightmare. So what you do is you put them in the seat, you put the seat into the back seat with them in it, and then you're trying to fit everything together so that they're not running around outside the car while you're focused like a laser beam on getting this seat into your car. It's no easy task. And I've had 4 doors. I can imagine the poor people that do it with 2 doors. Yeesh. But anyway. Yeah, my baby's gone. She's another man's baby right now. I wanted to sell her for scrap. Just get it over with, get whatever they were going to give me, even if they were going to hand me less than $100. That's how frustrated and tired I was dealing with the car. I was tired of it, you know? I was physically tired because I had to end up staying all day instead of going home at the end of my shift because I wasn't going to leave the car, go home, and then try to come back. As tired as I was, I knew that if I went home and laid down, I was not going to get back up and come to work. I was going to call off. And that was going to cost me money, not to mention the fact that our company is, like a lot of security companies, if you call off on a location, it's kind of hard for them to find a replacement for you, even if you give them like 16-hour notice. You can give them a 16-hour notice, even though by rule it's only 4 hours. You can give a company 16 hours, and sometimes they still can't find a replacement for you. Some sites are harder to fill than others. People don't like working your site. Why? Because you have to walk, lazy ass, and do your rounds. Oh, because you're out in the elements. Dress accordingly. Fuck. Anyway, I knew I wasn't gonna make it, so I just ended up. I put my little, I plugged in my heater. I have a good long outdoor extension cord, one of those big long ass orange ones. I think it's like 100 feet, 60 feet, something like that. Anywhere between 60 and 100 feet. I plugged that up, plugged up my little portable heater because I have this small size heater. Ended up putting my heater on the passenger seat, put my blanket and my pillow in the back seat, which you should always have in the wintertime if you live in any kind of cold environment, just in case your car ever stops. You should always have a blanket, and I mean a good thick one, in the trunk of your car. Survival 101. in case your car stops on the expressway or stops on the highway or stops on the side of the road or something. You get stuck because of the snow. You can't keep running your engine because sooner or later you're going to run out of gas because you're unable to get to a gas station. And if that happens, your engine shuts off, you don't have any more heat, you better have a blanket to wrap up. That's why they tell you, have a blanket as part of your survival kit. So for those of you that don't have a blanket and you live somewhere where it gets nice and cold and there's ice and snow on the ground during the winter, hey, do yourself a favor. Create a winter survival kit. All it takes is a box. You can use any old box, as long as it's big enough to hold a blanket, as long as it's big enough to hold some water. Now you don't need things like, like freaking candles and things like that, because you don't want to be burning candles in a car. Nice flashlights and good batteries. Check them once or twice a year. Make sure your batteries are still, still working. Put that shit in your trunk. Most of the time with a modern car, you got a seat that folds down inside the vehicle so you can get access to the trunk without getting out. Keep that shit in there, because you never ever know what's going to happen. I kept it in there for a number of reasons. When you go on long ass trips, I'd make up my blanket and throw a pillow back there a couple of days before I even went on the trip. Because when you get tired, find a rest stop. You can only let your car seat back so far. But even though you can't stretch out completely in the back seat, you can lay down horizontally in your back seat. Bring your knees up. You can get pretty comfortable back there. Pull into a rest stop, set your cell phone for a couple of hours, get a nap, rest yourself, get back on the road. You can lay back there, look at your tablet, download some movies or a couple TV shows or some anime onto your tablet before your trip. Or if you've got internet or you got a cell phone, look at some YouTube videos or whatever else you want to look at while you're laying back there in the back, you're resting, then get back on the road. That way you can drive literally all day and all night. And you don't have to spend money on a damn hotel. Or you don't have to exit and then try to find a hotel or a motel, because sometimes you come into a town and convention center is having some sort of event that week and all the rooms are booked. Now you're fucked. Not to mention the fact that it just saves money, A couple hours of rest and you should be able to get back on the road. And like I say, living here in Chicago, you never know if your shit is gonna get stuck in some snow. Side streets are the last streets that the city plows. If that happens and you're rolling down the side street, you get stuck, or sometimes you're on the Lakeshore Drive and you got that lake effect snow blowing in off Lake Michigan, you will get stuck. You will get stuck. And if it happens, hey, you can't, if you don't have a full tank of gas, or even if you do, you can't run your heat all day, all night. You don't know how long you're gonna be there. Save as much fuel as you can for the long haul. Don't abandon your vehicle. Stay in your vehicle. Throw your blanket around you. So anyway, that's what I did last Sunday. I went, got something to eat, got some food, had a couple of, I think I had some brisk. No. I had some Arizona iced teas. That's what I had. I had some Arizona iced teas. I laid in the back seat of my car, shoes off. Got me a nice fucking sleep. Not a nap. When it's more than 3 hours, you can't call it a nap anymore. But the fact that I had to stay at work bothered the shit out of me. Next day I decided, you know what, fuck it, I'm done with this car. I don't care if I have to give the motherfucker away for free. I was not going to spend another 24 hours at work because of my car. If I have to spend 24 hours at work, I'm getting paid for it, because nobody is coming to relieve my black ass. I'm not gonna be here because my fucking car stopped running. So at that point, I made the decision. I got some numbers to some places that come and tow your car, and they convert it into junk, scrap, parts, whatever. Then my coworker was like, I'll buy it, because I was gonna disconnect all my new shit. Hey, I'm not gonna get any damn thing for it. I'm sure as hell not gonna give them any damn new parts. And so he's like, no, leave it connected. I'll buy the car from you. And I'm trying to explain to him, like I say, my hand to God, I told him all that was wrong with the car, because I didn't want him to buy a piece of shit, and then he gets it running, or maybe can't get it running, and now he's mad at me. So I told him everything that was wrong with the car, how the car had been giving me trouble. He saw that with his own two eyes, and he still wanted to buy it. Oh, this is something, I bet it's something small. Okay. After I try to convince you that the car is a piece of shit, that you shouldn't buy it, that I'm going to sell it for scrap, and you still offer me money, well, damn, at that point, I got to be businessman. I got to take your money. And I did. I took his money with a smile on my face. Signed the title over to his ass. His friend came over. Bibbidi bobbidi boo, as they say, shit was running. I'm like, damn. I didn't know it was that easy to fix the motherfucker. Shit, I could have done that if I knew what the fuck to do. If I knew that was the problem. I didn't, so. And for a few minutes, I admit, I stood there, listening to the motherfucker run. I felt kind of stupid. Like, damn, all it took was 10 minutes worth of work, and you got it running again? I've been trying to get this motherfucker running all day and half the night, couldn't do it. This motherfucker, who isn't even a trained mechanic, comes over, which just lets you know I am a do-it-yourself guy, but I am not a fucking mechanic. Turns out it was the fuel pump. The fuel pump had gone bad, had been going bad for months. Never showed up on any kind of diagnostic scan. Not one time did a fuel pump readout show up on any kind of scan. But that's what the problem was. This guy came out, turned the key a couple times. Oh, that's the fuel pump. Got underneath the car, pulled the old fuel pump out, put the new one on. Motherfucker ran like a champion. I'm like, what the fuck? I felt stupid. But a deal is a deal. And like I said, I was tired of the shit. You know? I was tired of the shit. I was tired of the car quitting on me. I was tired of putting money into the car. Even the fucking fuel pump would have cost me money. Hiring somebody to be my mechanic would have cost me money. I was tired of putting money into the piece of shit. Which, by the way, was a Ford Escort. SES 2001. My second Ford in my entire lifetime. I had a Ford Escort back in the day. Now, I know that there are some people that swear up and down that Ford is the greatest fucking car company in the universe. The greatest company, period. They brought the factory and automation to the world. But in my opinion, Ford is shit. I didn't have this problem when I had the Dodge. I mean, I didn't have this problem when I had my Kia. Granted, those were brand new cars. Literally brand new cars. When I took my Kia home, it had 3 miles on it. 2 of which I put on during the test drive. So she had 1 mile on her when I first sat down in her. 1 mile. My Dodge was brand spanking new. The reason I bought it is I'm a fan of NCIS. I love that fucking show. And of course they drive Dodge Stratuses on the show. So I wanted me a Dodge Stratus, so I went out and got me a Dodge Stratus. Brand spanking new, beautiful, Superman blue. Ooh, she was bad. And of course, once I got her, I had to pimp her out a little bit, you know. Being that color, which is what attracted me to her in the first place, I had to get that big ass Superman logo painted on the hood. So she get that big ass shield on the hood. She was a bad motherfucker, boy. I love that fucking car. And apparently somebody else did too. That's why they stole it. But shit happens, you know. Shit happens. But oh yeah, looking at the Dodge Avenger, which is another car I've been investigating. I've been looking at getting me another Dodge. This one is black. It's bad as fuck. It's not as bad as the Challenger. There's a Challenger a couple rows down, a couple levels down. I fucking looked at the Dodge Challenger online. Holy shit! $60,000 for a fucking Challenger? So I'm like, okay, damn. $60,000 fucking dollars? So I'm like, okay, well, let me downgrade a little bit. Let me look at the Charger. So, you know, Google the Dodge Charger. Oh wow, you get to save a whole $3,000. $57,000 for the fucking Charger. Like, what the fuck? $57,000 for a fucking Dodge Charger? $60,000 for a Challenger? So I'm like, damn, okay, well, go down to the next one. That was the Avenger. $30,000. At least that's more reasonable. God damn, what the hell are they making these fucking cars out of? Gold? There's no fucking way I would pay $60,000 for a goddamn Dodge. Sorry. I mean, even though that's a bad motherfucker, the Challenger and that Charger, they're a couple of bad motherfuckers, but you're not worth 60 G's. Sorry. But that's my goal. That's my plan. I'm going to just save my money, stay on public transportation, stack my money, and in 2016, I'm going to get me a brand new fucking 2016. I learned my lesson with used cars again. Because for a couple of, about a good 6 years, I was rolling around in brand new cars. I got spoiled. I got spoiled with the fact that every time anything went wrong, like when I bought my Kia, about a year after I bought my Kia, the transmission went out. Called the emergency number that Kia gave me. Guy came out and found me on this empty ass back road in Indiana. I was coming from picking up my shit after me and this chick had broke up. To make matters completely fucking worse, transmission went out. The perfect ending to the perfect day. Guy came out, put my baby up on her, drove me to a motel. I stayed for the night because he wasn't coming back to Chicago. He was an Indiana tow truck driver. They repaired the transmission. They took out the old transmission, put in a new one. Didn't cost me a dime. I went to pick her up. Not a quarter came out of my pocket. 10-year warranty, 5-year bumper to bumper, or 10-year on like parts, labor. I mean, you cannot beat a fucking warranty like that. And of course, when I had the Stratus, I never fucking had a mechanical problem. I had that car for 3 years and not a single mechanical problem. Not a single mechanical problem. Engine check light did not come on even once. Oil light didn't come on, not one time. Not a fucking problem with that car. Nothing. And I drove the shit out of that Dodge. As I've said in a previous video, I have a heavy ass foot. Most people take 5.5 to 6 hours to drive from Chicago to Detroit. I can do that shit in 4. I'm fucking around. I'm gone. Wherever it is I'm going, I'm there. Shit. Open the door, say hello. Sean is there. It's one of those cold, sneaky cold kind of nights. It's not cold, but it's cold enough where your fingers feel it after a little while, you know? Like I said, one of those sneaky kind of colds, like one of those silent farts, you know? You're in a crowded ass elevator on a bus or some shit like that, and all of a sudden you start to smell it, and it's one of those farts that hurts when you smell it. It's like, God damn, what did you eat? Who the fuck is that? You wondering if somebody shitted themselves? It's so bad. But nobody heard the shit. Nobody heard it. It's one of those silent gas grenades. That's kind of like this cold is. One of those sneaky ass colds. I mean, you go outside, you look at the weather channel. Oh, it's 32 degrees tonight. Cool. It's gonna be a low of 31. So you dress appropriately for 31 degrees. You come outside and it's like, wait a minute. This doesn't feel like 31. This feels kind of sneaky. So it's only 31 right now, but it's cold. It's one of those sneaky ass colds. Anyway, back to what the fuck I was talking about. What the hell was I talking about? Oh yeah, never had a problem out of my Dodge. Not one single solitary problem. And I drove the shit out of it. Like I said, I have a heavy foot, and when it's time to go somewhere, I go somewhere. Shit. I don't like spending time in traffic. I'm weaving back and forth, turn signals. A must. I hate people that dart in and out of traffic and don't use a fucking turn signal. Look, you got somewhere to go, I get that. I feel the same way. 65 is too goddamn slow sometimes, especially if you're running late. But use your fucking turn signal so I know what you're gonna do while you're in front of me, or you're beside me, or you're behind me. I hate when motherfuckers, first of all, I'm competitive as fuck. Anybody that knows me knows that. And if I'm on the expressway and I'm going somewhere, even if I'm taking it easy, I got like an hour to get to work, I don't like it when you blow past me. I don't like that. So if you're gonna blow past me, fine. But understand, you're gonna piss me off now, it's on. It's a race now. So if you're gonna go flying up in front of me, and then you're gonna cut in front of me, put a motherfucking turn signal on so I know you're gonna do that. Otherwise, I'm gonna run up your fucking tailpipe, and you and me are gonna be sitting in the front seat together. Turn your damn turn signals on when you're going in and out of traffic. If you that damn good a driver, you can handle both. You can accelerate, you can brake, and you can use your turn signals to let people around you, beside you, and behind you know what the fuck you doing. What your move is gonna be next. Because if you don't, like I say, you blow past me, oh shit, it's on now. No matter what speed I was going, no matter how fast or how much time I got to get to where I'm going, I see that, now it's on. I'm going to pass you. That's just the way it is. And if you're gonna jump in front of me, put a turn signal on, because I'm coming just as hard as you were going. And if you don't let me know what you're gonna do, I will run up your motherfucking tailpipe. And like I said, both of us will be sitting in the front seat together. Because I will go through your shit. And I drove the shit out of the Dodge. Never had a problem. I drove the shit out of that Kia. Never had a problem. The Dodge got swiped. The Kia, Chicago's finest, our boys in blue, smashed the shit out of the back of it. Ran into the back of a parked car while it's sitting in a goddamn parking lot and tore up. Knocked the back end completely the fuck off the car. The back end was literally dragging around. How the fuck do you go up in a parking lot? Why are you going so fast? First of all, you're off duty and you're driving your own POV and you're going so fucking fast that you need to swerve and go up into a parking lot. You missed the first 6 or 7 cars in that parking lot. You hit my shit with so much force. that you drive it into another car, which causes like a chain reaction of cars smashing into each other, beside each other, until it's like 6 or 7 cars later are still getting damaged. I mean, it's like a pinball effect. This guy hit my car with so much force, he drove it into this guy's Cadillac from Indiana, drove the guy's Cadillac into another car, that car into another car, and so on and so on. Wrecked like 6 or 7 fucking cars in the parking lot and took off. Didn't even have the decency to stick around and explain shit. Or say, you know what, I'm so sorry I hit your car. I'm so sorry I hit your car, sir. I'm so sorry I hit your car, ma'am. No. Your shit is still drivable, so you leave. You leave. You leave the fucking scene of an accident that you caused, nobody else was involved in. You did this shit all on your own, and you leave. Why? Because you're an off-duty Chicago police officer. I get to find out what the fuck happened from the duty officer that's actually downstairs filling out the fucking report. And this motherfucker wants to get mad at me because I'm mad. You nappy-headed, braid-wearing motherfucker, you. You want to get mad at me because I'm mad because somebody just totaled my fucking car and took off. Granted, I still would have been pissed if he would have stayed behind and explained shit, but at least I would have dealt with it a lot better if he would have been like, look, man, I am so sorry. I had to swerve for whatever fucking reason. Hey, shit happens, you know? I get that. But you don't even fucking hang around there, say I'm sorry. You gone. You leave the on-duty guy to explain what the fuck happened. And I'm down there with like 6 or 7 other people from my building trying to find out what the fuck happened. How did this happen? Why is it the cars on that side of me are fine and all the cars on the right side of me are smashed the fuck up? How does that happen? How do you come into a parking lot with that much force? And you don't even have the fucking common decency to stick around and explain the shit. And like I said, this motherfucker sitting in his car writing a report. And I'm pissed off because I'm like, damn, I need my car for work. I literally needed my car for work. I was working a job at a chemical factory, at a chemical plant. And we would literally sit in our cars for almost the entire 8-hour shift because we didn't have any booths outside, any posts outside to sit. And you had to be out there where you were visible, one, and where you could see everything that was going on the property, two. So my car was essential for my job. So yes, I was pissed. So I want to know what the fuck happened. So I'm asking the cop, how did this happen? I mean, where's the dude? I mean, I'm asking, did you do it? He's like, no, I didn't do it. You know, the guy that did it, he took off. He's gone. I'm like, what the fuck? You know? So now I'm mad, and then this motherfucker wants to get mad at me because I'm mad. I understand that's one of your boys. But goddamn, this motherfucker smashed up, like I say, 6 or 7 fucking vehicles and took off. If any one of us had done that shit, that would have been an APB out on our ass so quick we wouldn't have been able to breathe. But he's an off-duty cop, so he's allowed to do that. No explanation. City, oh, well, I asked the guy, well, who's going to pay for this shit? I mean, who's going to pay for our vehicles? Is the city going to reimburse us for this shit? Well, you can try to get your money, but I doubt they're going to give you anything. For real? Chicago's finest. That's the answer that we all get. You can try to get some money, but I doubt they're going to give you anything. And they didn't. I got the runaround leg Jimmy shake from city official after city official after fucking city official, so I just gave up. My insurance company even told me, they're not going to give you anything. This is the city of Chicago. Luckily, my insurance company ended up paying off the rest of the car once they came out, and they told me, well, we're going to send an insurance guy out to where they're going to tow it, and we'll get back to you in about a day or two. The next day, it wasn't even 2 days, my insurance company called me. They told me, the car has been totaled. There is absolutely no way we're going to pay to have that fixed because literally the back end is on the ground. We're not going to pay for that. We'll just pay for the car. We'll pay it off, and you can go from there. But in the interim, I've got to rent a car with my own money in order to keep working until I can get me a new car. Luckily, I got the Stratus. But the fact that this shit happened and nobody was held accountable for that shit. And I know this story has gone 9 different ways off a topic. You have to forgive me, I'm a rambler, I admit that. But like I say, it's just one of those situations that just boggles the mind. Like, what the fuck were you doing driving that fast where when you have to swerve and go up into a parking lot, you cause that much damage? You got kids crossing that fucking street. You got old ass motherfuckers crossing that street. You got buses going up and down that street. And your ass is going that fucking fast where you can cause that much fucking damage. And then you can't even stick around to say, I'm sorry for your shit. Instead, you leave it to the dude that's on duty to explain. And then when everybody's pissed, including yours truly, he's got the audacity to get pissed. Like, we're in the wrong. Like, we're in the fucking wrong for being mad that our shit just got totaled by one of your fellow cops. Not while he was pursuing somebody. Not while this motherfucker was doing his job. He's off duty going someplace. Could have been drunk for all we know. Who the fuck knows? I don't even know who fucking caused the accident. No name was ever written on the goddamn report. I love that fucking car. And I love my Stratus. And when she got stolen, I reported it. We'll look into it. We'll investigate it. Yeah, okay. I understand millions of fucking cars get stolen every damn year. I didn't ever hear back. Not a single fucking word ever on what happens in my Stratus. Did somebody steal it and chop it up? Did the motherfucker get blown up? Did it get dumped in the river? Or did it get dumped in the lake? Is it in Mexico? I don't fucking know. Because no one ever told me. No one ever bothered to call me and say, hey, we found the fender of your fucking car. We found the left wheel. Nothing. I filed a report. They took all the information. That was it. My part of the job was done. I contacted my insurance company. Let them know. Oh well. I gave them all the information as far as the number on the police report. I guess so that they could confirm it with the police that it really was stolen. That was that. Didn't hear shit from them either. But I think I'm going to get another Dodge. Can't afford the fucking Challenger. Can't afford the fucking Charger either. So I guess if I'm gonna get a Dodge, I'm gonna have to settle for the Avenger, which is not bad. It's sort of like a baby version of the Challenger. It's not what I want, but it's what I'm probably gonna end up getting. Just because I can't afford a fucking Charger or Challenger. So, long story, too fucking late for that now, huh? Story coming to a conclusion. I have sold my car, and I swear I will never again own a Ford. If I drive a Ford, it's going to be a rental or a loaner. It's not going to be mine. I will never again own a Ford. New, used, leased, bought, borrowed. I will never ever trust a Ford again. I can't. Like I said, this is the second Ford that I've owned. Shit, I've even owned a 1980, my very first car, a 1984 Chevy Celebrity. The worst looking piece of shit you ever saw in your life. I paid $500 cash for it. Fantastic motor. Fantastic motor. Rusted the fuck out. It was brown, light brown, gold, all kinds of fucking colors. Because the color was faded. And yet, even in the dead of winter, even when newer cars would not start, I would put the key in the ignition, turn it over, and my Chevy Celebrity would fire right the fuck up. A Chevy. 1984 Chevy Celebrity. Go look that motherfucker up. And yet, fantastic engine. Fantastic fucking motor. Ford, like I said, the Escort, shit. Worst fucking motor I've ever owned in my life. The Taurus is a close fucking second. So, this is my pledge to myself, to my children, and to my grandchildren. I will never fucking own a Ford as long as I live. Ever again. And wherever my Ford Taurus is tonight, she's not my Ford Taurus anymore, but wherever the hell she's sitting tonight, I wish her well, and I wish the motherfucker that owns it right now well too, because he's gonna need it. Oh yeah, he's gonna need it. And the worst part is, I warned him. I warned him not to buy it from me. I didn't even want to sell it to him. He wanted it, I sold it, because I'm not gonna turn down money. Money is like pussy. Those are two things in this world I am just not fast enough to run away from. I'm sorry, I'm pretty fast. I'm not that fast. I cannot run from money and pussy. They will catch me every time. So this guy offered me money for that car. I jumped at it. So now, Snow White is his problem, not mine. Okay, like I said, I didn't want to make this video this long. But there it is. Thanks if you watched the whole damn thing. Shit, you're a better person than me. Because I would have cut out like 2 minutes into this video. But if you did stay all the way through to the end, thank you. Thank you very much. I know I rambled. I'm sorry, but I guess I had a lot of shit to say. Okay, thank you for watching. If you stayed all the way through to the end. If you didn't, I thank you for the first couple of minutes that you watched this video. You don't have to comment if you don't want to, like or anything else like that. If you do, hey, like, subscribe, do all that shit. Either way, it's not gonna affect me one way or another. But thanks anyway for watching. Have a good one. Stay warm, stay dry, stay safe. I'm Sean, and I'm done. Peace.